for a treat tonight. Yes, Brad Stine is here. You might not have seen him yet, but he's here. And I think you're really going to enjoy him. A couple of thoughts I had as we open this. There's an interesting verse in the book of Proverbs that says, "A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit saps a person's strength." So one of the ways we get a cheerful heart is through laughter. And we all need, hey, we live in a stressful world, don't we? And we all need to laugh and to enjoy good things in life. And it's so rare in this world to have good, clean, fun comedy, isn't it? That's a rare thing. So that's what you're going to enjoy tonight. So we have invited you here to laugh, and to realize that God's people can have fun too. Okay? So we hope you're inspired enough by tonight that you'll come back tomorrow morning, because at 10:30, Brad Stine is going to be back again. And he's going to do this awesome thing called the God Experience. And it's going to be really profound, I think. So come back for that. So Brad Stine is one of the most well-known and sought-out comedians across the nation, especially in Christian circles. One magazine referred to him as God's comic. He has toured the country and been on numerous talk and news shows. His mission is to bring good, clean, God-honoring comedy. And he's got a lot of other things to share. He's a very patriotic man. He loves his country. He loves freedom. And he's not afraid to speak up about that, too. So I think he'll be a really special treat for you tonight. Trust me when I tell you, it's a pretty big deal to bring somebody of Brad Stine's caliber and his comedic style, and he's known nationwide. To bring him to Little Storden, trust me, is a big deal. Okay? That's a big deal. One quick announcement: about 30 minutes in the presentation, there's going to be a little box passed around. If you feel led to give something for tonight to offset costs, great. If not, no biggie. We're here to have fun, and we don't want costs to get in the way of anything, okay? After the presentation, I'll have a couple other quick announcements, and then we'll go. But I want you to give Brad Stine a big Storden, Minnesota welcome. Here he comes.
Well done. Wow, I'm here. Your prayers have been answered. Everything you hoped for, the locusts are gone, the boils have been removed. You're free from the hemorrhoids. It's all better now. It's all better now. Oh, he's scared to death. His family's like, look straight ahead. He won't talk to us. Why did he bring up the hemorrhoids? I am excited to be here. This was my destiny. This is what I'd hoped for years ago when I prayed to the Lord. Father, give me London, Paris, New York. He said, no. No, wait till you get a load of Storden. So this is what I've been reduced to. Clearly, my career has peaked. It's all downhill from here. Oh, I love it. I love you people. I love you're here. I love these small churches. I love these small towns. This, to me, is America. This is the kind of people that we have. Is the pastor here? Did he make it? Oh, you're the pastor. Well, no wonder his sermons have been so difficult for him with the hemorrhoids. Poor guy's doing his best. He's like, help me, somebody. I need a donut to sit on while we're in Habakkuk. But God bless you. I'm glad you're here, Pastor. My bad, didn't know it was you, but I'm glad you're here, glad you're part of this. You got the single most difficult calling, I think, to be a pastor, because he's stuck with you people. So give him a round of applause for literally He deserves it. This man is literally risking his entire ministry bringing me here tonight. So give him credit for that. Give him credit. I love you guys. I love you're here. I love the feel. You look. How do you feel? You feeling all right? Yeah. All right. You're looking good. And you know what? If you weren't looking good, I'd lie. I would. I'd lie. You know why? Because if I said you weren't looking good, you'd feel sad. It hurts your feelings. And if we've learned anything about America, you know what rules the world now? Feelings! Oh, forget science, forget logic, forget reason, forget everything that's ever run America. Forget common sense. Not even sense isn't even common anymore, son. It's not even common. We bring up sense now and people go, what is that? What is that he's brought our way? It's called common sense. Gone. Feelings rule the world. And here's what's fascinating. Through all the corporations, to all the Twitters and the Facebooks, run by feelings. You know who used to use feelings? Children. Children is what used to run feelings. It used to be always just the kids. That's all they had was feelings, not logic, not reason, not wisdom, not history. It'd always be like, son, clean your room. I don't feel like it. Wasn't that what they used to do? They thought that was leverage. I don't feel like it. And you know what it used to be like? Dad would be like, really? Well, I feel like I'm going to give you something you're going to feel. And I feel like you'll feel differently afterwards. Because feelings are important and they're good, but they don't run things. They're not wise. They don't make the world work. They can be flawed. They can be wrong. So you have to be able to speak truth, because truth is what allows you to grow and mature. That's why when I said, you're looking good, I did that because I wanted you to feel good. But the truth is, some of you don't look good. I'm sorry, not everybody's good looking. It's just true. It's just true. And people get upset. Oh my gosh, he's hurting people's feelings. Why would he say things like that? Because it's true. There are ugly people in this world. They're ugly, but don't worry, here's the good news. You never think it's you. So that way, I'm not actually insulting anybody, because the ugly people are completely clueless. Goes right over their head, and people say, oh, that's not nice, it's not nice. No. Notice what I didn't do. I didn't actually pick people out and say, you're ugly, you're ugly. That is malicious. That's not nice. That I understand. That's different than just simply making the true fact that some people don't look as good as other people. Now, why would you bring it up? Because I want to show you that truth sometimes hurts. Sometimes it hurts. And so you try to be polite. Have you ever noticed that? Sometimes polite is a fancy word for lying. Have you thought of that? Sometimes, and look, I know you're in a church, we're Christians. We never lie. Really? So what do you do when you're confronted with that ugly baby? What do you, you've all been there. We've all been there. This is my new baby. Oh, what do you think? And what do you say? You literally come up with every word you can come up with that sounds sweet. Oh, it's so precious. Bless their heart. Any word you can come up with to avoid the fact that you got a monkey baby here. I'm telling you. That is a sideshow baby. Right there, and the people get angry with me. They do. You have been so trained to allow feelings to rule that you don't even deal with reality. You don't even deal with what is actually true. People get mad. They say there is no such thing as an ugly baby. They're all beautiful on the inside. And it's true. They are beautiful inside. The problem is the parents bring them outside. Suddenly, I got to look at him. That's not right. You did this to yourself. But that's how we go, because we care about the way we look. Now, listen, this is important because people are made with different ways of looking. And that's good. That's good. Not everybody can be attractive. I'm not Mr. Handsome. I get it. We all are in different gradations. Not everybody's gorgeous, right? We got to have ugly people. Have to have them. They're part of the otherwise, how would we know what good-looking people are? Got to have ugly so that we can commit. But again, nobody knows it's them, so nobody really needs to get their feelings hurt. And what happens when you go to utilize the idea that what if you're trying to give people information that would be helpful? How about people that tell you that they joined the gym and you can't tell? And they think that's good. They'll come up to you and say that, yep, join the gym. I'm like, okay, joining the gym isn't the problem. You got to participate in the equipment every now and again. You're working out, isn't working out. You got to put some effort in. You got to do some things. My sister is a large. My sister is a big boned. My sister's fat, is what she is. She's gigantic. And I try to tell her, and I love her. I don't want her to be unhealthy. So I want to say, you need to lose some weight. And she has fallen for this leftist nonsense that's teaching people you don't have to be disciplined anymore. Oh, this fat shaming is gone. I believe in body positivity. I said, really? Well, then I'm positive. Your body's fat. Trying to help you. But here's what I'm trying to make it. And some of you are thinking, this is, I don't know, I'm a little uncomfortable. You're putting people down. This is how we think. This is how we've been trained to think. You're putting people down. How is it putting them down, implying that you are defaming them maliciously? How is it putting them down if you're giving them information that actually might heal them? See, this is the same kind of people of the churches that believe that Jesus is all love. He's just love. Jesus is love. He is love. What does love mean? Define it. Does love mean no discipline? Does love mean you don't have to be true? Does love mean that you can't cheat? Does love mean these other things? Or does it just mean whatever people want to do, be my guest? That's not love. That's not love. Sometimes love hurts. You married? Well, then you know what I'm talking about. All the people in the back are high-fiving. Thank God we came late, I'm telling you. This guy is absolutely out of control. But see, that's the point I'm trying to make, is that we care about our bodies. We honor our bodies, and we should. Have you ever wondered why? You ever wondered why people honor it? Because God said he made us in his image. Your body is sacred. It's supposed to be taken care of. You're supposed to treat it well. That's why we love the parts of the body, because God invented them. Ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed we only like the parts of our body as long as they're attached? I mean, if you think about it, if you're just going by a body part, what difference does it make? Go to that your wife, hey, nice legs, huh? Right? We've all done that, nice legs. Find one of those legs under the couch. Just one. Not as attractive. Right? You love their fingernails. Find one fingernail clipping in the couch cushions. What is that? The classic idea of on the body, off the body, hair. Are you serious? Every man loves his wife's hair. She has beautiful hair, long hair. I caress your hair. I smell your hair. I touch your hair. Find one of those hairs in your cottage cheese. Oh my. Wow, what a hairnet! It's our bodies. They're beautiful. They're special. They're sacred, but they're not to be worshipped. That's all I'm trying to say to you, folks. All I'm trying to say is we got to speak truth. Just speak truth. If you are a Christ follower I am, you are the last truth tellers on earth, if you haven't noticed. You're the last truth tellers on earth. Yeah, I don't know, and it's important, especially important when things get dicey, when things get difficult, when things get confusing, when things get hazy. What do I mean by that? Well, maybe you haven't noticed this. You're just in, a little rural area of Minnesota, so maybe this passed you by. I don't know if you were aware. Maybe you get the paper. Just curious, did any of you notice anything odd happen in the U.S. in the last couple of years? Anybody pick up on it? It was subtle. It was subtle. It was subtle. And yet here we sit, everything's fine, but just a year ago, this right here would be considered a miracle. Somehow human beings are able to sit next to each other and somehow survive. So if you are a far left progressive that just came in here to infiltrate what was going on in the rural outskirts of Minnesota, let's get this over with, shall we? What am I saying? If you didn't get it, you got it now. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I literally just blew some air, and that freaked somebody. If they go sneaking out, we know who they are. They're the we've got to be aware of that. Why do I say this? And we're laughing now, and thank God for laughter. It allows us to laugh through difficult things. But the point is, we're laughing because laughter always emanates from truth, especially when truth is being mocked, ridiculed, or exposed as the difference, the dichotomy between what is real and what is false. And that's what's happened to America. That's what's destroying America, let alone the earth, when people are forced to live a lie. It is demonic and must be abandoned at all times, fought against. It's literally the reason Jesus Christ went to the cross. I will support and define truth. I even can control the lie of death and redeem it. That's what it is. I know what you're thinking. This is the weirdest comedian I've ever met in my entire life. First he's joking about Corona and ugly people, now he's talking about Jesus. See, but a lot of people don't know who I am. Many do, some do. I see a guy here with my shirt on right over there. He is one poor guy, one fan in this whole area. One guy showing up saying, I've been waiting years to wear it. Where'd you get that, brother? I bought it from you on Facebook. Oh, you did? When? When was this? Well, how did you see it? Are you on my podcast? I'm probably the first person to comment every week. Are you Nick? Oh. He's my podcast buddy. Good to meet you, brother. How are you, man? Thanks for coming. He's a Minnesota man, watches my podcast. None of you watch my podcast. The Lord told me to mention you need to watch my podcast or you're going to hell. That's what he told me. I know that's unorthodox, but I'm just going with what he told me in my prayer closet. But what I was getting at, good to have you, brother. How far away do you live from here? Hour and 15. So he made a trek. Good for you, man. He'd made a trek over here. You guys wouldn't have done that. 15 minutes is going too much for this guy right here. Dude, he only goes to this church because it's just down the road. That's why he's here. I know what that's all about. I was talking about the Corona crazy, the Corona cult. That's what I was talking about. And I need you to understand some things right off the bat, just in case we got some people on the fence, got some people that were a little afraid, fearful, and that should tell you something right there. If you're living in fear, I don't care what it is, that ain't Jesus. I can tell you that right here and now. I can tell you that right here and now. The difference between prudence and being foolish, I can tell you that right now. I'm sorry that this hurts. But for those who are saying, I get it, you understand where we're going with this. It's re-remembering what is true so we never have that crazy happen again in this country, ever again. You have to fight like warriors. Oh, I'm among my constituency, Pastor, and you teed him up. Hey, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have this. We wouldn't have people that think and reason, and that's so crucial for a pastor to do that because it's his job to negotiate us trying to figure out how to get the lay of the land. So I blew on you as a joke, and you laughed because you understood it. Why? Because I was told for 2 years I had the #1 symptom of coronavirus. You know what they told me the #1 symptom of coronavirus was? No symptoms. This is what passed for science in America. Are you sick? Not at all. That means you're going down. Yes. You are contagious. See, I can't believe that this is how we've played it through. And let me make something very, very, very clear to you folks. I didn't say that wasn't a real virus. It was. I didn't say that some people didn't get sick. They did. I got it and got over it like most of us did. And some people did die. Most of them didn't die because of the virus. They died because it got them disabled, and then whatever precondition they had killed them. That's true, just like AIDS. AIDS didn't kill people. It was their defense mechanisms were down, and they died of pneumonia or something else. That's just simply true. That's what happened. I know I'm confusing you. This is what we used to do when we used to believe in actual science. We could reason together, which, by the way, the only religion I know of in human history where God said, let's reason together. We're made in the image of God. That means he's reasonable, gives us the ability to reason. Every time you do that, you're using ideas of God. It's crucial you understand what's at stake. So what am I getting at? Did people die? Yes. Is it horrible? Of course. I lost my father of brain cancer at 59 years old. I don't want to lose him, but it's not funny. But here's the irony. Even if I was making fun of dead people, they'd be the only ones that didn't care. So once again, we now live in a society where people are offended for other people. And I think it goes a little bit too far when we're offended for people that don't have feelings. And if you're a Christian, you've moved on. You're good. You think any Christ follower that died is sitting here going, oh, if I could just go back to church. No. They're home. Do you believe this or not? Is this real or not? Or is this a game we play on Sundays? Isn't there something better? Isn't that what we're shooting for? Don't we listen to the teachings of our pastors so we can get away and move on and find redemption in the final analysis when I begin eternity where I belonged all along? We're losing churches in America, not because Christianity is less strong. You go look around the world, it is robust. We are losing Christians in church because we have never been taught in American Christianity, this is supposed to cost you something. What happens when you're fat and lazy and everything was handed to you, there was no persecution and no oppression, it meant nothing to you. And now things have changed. As they should. What am I saying? I'll tell you. I just want us to remember what happened so it doesn't happen again. We can be aware. That's what wisdom is, simply looking at the history and then trying to evaluate in the future. So the next time a virus pops through, and it will, viruses never go away. Next time a virus pops through that has a 99.8% survival rate. Just throwing this out there, maybe we shouldn't shut down Earth. Just throwing it out there. I'm no expert. I get it. Just a comedian. I'm no Fauci. How in the world can one guy make that much money and be wrong that many times and not at least be a weatherman? How is this possible? At least be in a profession where we expect you to be wrong, and when you are, we don't care. But no, this guy messed it up over and over and over again, and here's the key. Folks, if you don't remember history, you repeat it. I think we need some new nomenclature. I need to hold these people accountable that did so much damage on this earth. So much damage. Matter of fact, he was one of them. He was one of them. So I think we need a new nomenclature from this day forward. When somebody decides so arrogantly that they're going to tell the rest of us how to live, steal our freedoms and our liberties and our constitutional rights, pretend that they know everything, and then everything they say fails, we're going to say they Fauci'd that up. Just the way we think of Hitler's name. Some names need to be thought of without respect and dignity. Like demons or Satan. There's words that don't work anymore. Folks, it is okay to pronounce evil and darkness when it appears. Pray for the guy. Pray for them all. But some people are unteachable. So there we sat with the craziest thing of all time. And then what happened was when they began to give us our rights back. Remember that? When they started telling us you get to go back to church. How dare you? We're here. This is our place. This is a sanctuary. We had to be open. We were the most essential venue in the country. Went back to restaurants. Remember that? Do you remember the crazy? Anybody that was just on the fence should have immediately realized how ridiculous this was. You'd walk into the restaurant, put a mask on! You're killing everybody! Get it over your nose, all the way over the nose. You're killing people with your nostrils. Are you crazy? Get your mask on! Right now! As soon as you said, take it off. Are you scared down there? Not at this altitude. Up here, I'm scared to death, but not down here. Up here, I'm feeling woozy. Don't know if I'm gonna make it. I feel like the Black Plague, but not down here. Why were we so frightened by a virus, so stupid? Apparently, it couldn't find you when you sat down. This brought the world to a standstill. Let's kill everybody. Where'd they go? Where are they? Think about that. Somewhere down the road, that a chair became a four-legged vaccine. Just out of the blue, a chair was our healer. Somehow we never needed Pfizer, just IKEA. We could have kept the entire community running if we had just remained seated. How would you get around? Wheelchairs. We have the technology. I'm going skating. Why do I bring these things up? Because we have to remember. We can move forward in any great nation if we don't remember who we are, our traditions, what is true, what is right, what is safe, what is real, what is freedom, what is liberty. We have to hold on to them as sacrosanct, or they're gone. It's not rhetoric. Revolutionary War was real, wasn't a legend. It's people like you and me sitting in church saying, you're going to grab a musket? Shoot the British? I came from Britain. And these people say, yeah, they're stealing our liberties. It's unjust. They're tyrants. You know who they most feared in the Revolutionary War? Who the British feared the most? They said, the black-robed regiment. You know who they were? Pastors. who stood at their pulpits and gave them the lay of the land. What is true? How does God see justice? What does he expect of people? What happens when the innocent are being destroyed? What happens when the downtrodden are being ruined? What happens when men of valor no longer defend territory they've been given, no longer see things as sacred? What happens when pilgrims who were going to Massachusetts made a mistake, or going to Virginia made a mistake, ended up in Massachusetts, did no longer have the king's edict to get off board because they're on the wrong land. So they said, if we're going to get off here, we're going to have to make our own compact. And they did, the Mayflower Compact. And you had to sign it saying, if you're going to get on this land with us, this is what we're going to do. We're going to offer it to Jesus Christ. You want in or out? But if you want in, this is the deal. And these were sailors who weren't Christians. Not a theocracy. You don't have to be one of us, but you have to obey our ideas. This is what we're creating. If we forget who America was, we will never survive, and there'll never be another country like this again in history, ever. Speak truth, always. See, what is happening is people are they're grasping and stealing the words. Whoever controls the words of people control the people, because the words disseminate information. Information is reality and truth. If they tell you you can't think that, believe that, say that, they control the way you behave. They literally enslave you. This is real, folks. This is what tyranny and totalitarianism looks like. I'll prove it to you. I'll prove it to you what it looks like. What happens if I say make the same behavior you do, but I define it differently? Would that be called a lie and hypocrisy? That's what happened. This used to be called a great crowd. Then it became a super spreader. Same group, different angle. And it is a super spreader unless you're spreading while burning down buildings and beating people up. Then it's a peaceful protest. And it is a peaceful protest, unless you're protesting a presidential election. Then it's simply an insurrection. And it is an insurrection, unless the protest is against climate change. Then you're just exercising your First Amendment rights. And it is exercising your First Amendment rights, unless you're exercising them at a school board meeting. Then you're a domestic terrorist. And you are a domestic terrorist, unless you're utilizing these concepts as an FBI agent or the CDC. Then you're simply defending democracy. Same behavior, redefined to fit a narrative. Christians call that out. Your job is to do what? To get saved and then redeem your territory. See, but you guys, I don't have to really go out of my way to explain these ideas to you. It's your DNA. You're my people. I get it. There might be a few outliers here that are on a work release program or something. Or, you know, it's a court order. That's why they're here. They would have left, but the ankle bracelet would have given them away, so they're still here. But we need to understand these ideas and take them to heart. We need to take them to heart, because we're going to lose the DNA, and the DNA is lost if we forget what it was to be an American. Remember, you're the lineage of people that broke away from those powerful country of the 19th century, become those powerful country of the 20th century. That's who we are. But think about this. The greatest threat to Americans in the Revolutionary War was that the greatest, strongest nation on earth was going to destroy our freedoms that we had created, and we fought back, and we won. Greatest threat in the Civil War, that our country was going to be split into two. We wanted the Union not to dissolve, so we were willing to fight even neighbor and friends, and we kept the Union alive and kept freedom alive and even eliminated slavery. And that was what Americans what? They faced the worst and they overcame it. And then World War II, fascism, Nazism, we overcame the hardest, most difficult thing in the country, and we got together as a nation and said, we are Americans. We will see freedom reign. That was it, and that's who we were. And then, a year and a half ago, the greatest fear in Americans was running out of toilet paper. We had people hoarding toilet paper. As though they could say, there would be no other way I can imagine cleansing myself. If we run out of this paper, apparently, what did people do before toilet paper? I guess they held it a long time. How can we not even know how to tend to ourselves on that basic dilemma and wonder that we're going to keep the freest nation on earth? Oh, we're losing it. And then we started losing our minds. My name is Brad Stine. The New Yorker called me God's comic. But my personal pronoun is Your Highness. So if you mismonarch me, I will sue. I'm laughing and you're laughing. Why? Because I made a joke about the idea of identify. Identify, a new idea, feelings-based subjectivity, which is fine. You live in the United States of America. You have the freedom to live in a fantasy if you want to. You can. You don't have the freedom to make me live there with you. That's stealing my liberty. If you are uncomfortable with this reality right now, you have been more affected by secular culture and Marxism than the Holy Spirit. You shouldn't have to flinch an eyelash when it comes to God's word over secular ridiculousness. Shouldn't even be an issue in your mind. But it is. It is when the church is more affected by the culture than it affects the culture. It's hard. Got these young kids up here. That's all you get. That's all you get. That's all you know. How old are you, son? 18. See? 18 years old. He's got a little wristband on to remind him who he is. Right? What's the wristband all about, son? Not that one. This one. Yeah. The fair? Oh, nice. Is the fair still going? No. No, but clearly they meant for you to wear it till next year. This is our next generation of Americans who don't understand. And I feel sorry for you, son. I want to fight for you. I've been your age 3-4 times, son. It's not your fault. You're 18. You know what you know at 18? Nothing! You're an idiot! So was I at 18. That's the journey. We take moments where what you're, compared to me, you're nobody, but that's the same thing. An 8-year-old compared to you. It's the wisdom of getting older. That's why you have to take advantage of the old people. You go find the old people in this place. You ask them about life. They got things to teach you that you can't, that you may not even make it. May not even get there. Take advantage, 18. You go to public school? College? Oh, you just got in college? First year? Where do you go? Sioux Falls. Okay. How far is it from here? An hour. Nice. Are you staying on campus? Okay. So you come home and drive there and come back? Huh? Stop at the fair on the way so you can take a roller coaster? Prior. So you know all about identify, right? I'm sure that nonsense is happening at the institution that you've chosen to go educate. That crazy step in place right now. Identify. If you don't know what it means this. It's the new world. It's what happens when living by subjectivity and feelings becomes systemically placed into society. Whatever you identify as, you are. Whatever you identify as, you are. That's it. Adults call it identified. Kids call it playing pretend. Folks, I am telling you what's really happening in a 2022. We are going backwards. We are losing our way. The wheels have come off. But here's the good news. You can use their terminology against them. Because all they have is terms. No substance, no logic, no reason, no truth, just words. So use it against them. I misgendered a guy for the first time. I think it was a guy. I don't know at this point. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But I said, excuse me, sir. And I go, how dare you call me sir? I'm a woman. He was angry. How dare you misgender me? And I said, aha. How do you know it was a misgender? Perhaps it was a Mr. Gender. Who knows? That's what I told him. It, her, it, the, zip, woo-woo, aha, chit, whatever it is. I can't keep up with the things. Prefix, don't know. But that's where it went. But I think you can use the identify because that's the most beautiful thing. People identify as animals now, they become an animal. There's people that identify as babies, they become babies. This is ridiculous. Use that power against them next time somebody says, why you... So, I honestly don't even know what happened. I don't know where that went, but people will say that. We need to do this to the gender folks. They'll say, you've misgendered me. I'm not a man, I'm a woman. And you say, no, 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 I identify as somebody that's never wrong. It cancels itself out and everybody blows up. Are you being mean to people? You're a Christian, you're supposed to be the nicest people. Yeah, we are supposed to be the kindest people. It is not kind to lie. Jesus said, one of the ways you'll know if you are a Christian, you will be hated. What do they want to teach now in woke church? Everybody loves us. Well, then you ain't telling truth. Truth hurts. Matter of fact, if you speak words and no one ever hates you, you're not saying anything worth listening to. Because when you stand for something, it'll cost you and somebody will hate it. See, you never had to stand for any Christianity in America because pretty much everybody was a Christian or at least respected it. It's gone, guys. It's gone. That's why you better practice truth-telling at all times. Climate change. That's what happens. That's what happens. Because our traditions are being lost. They start worshiping the earth instead of respecting it. That's why I use their terms and their ideas against them. It's my own fun. It's the fun I have for me. I don't recycle. And these people just lose their minds. You're killing the earth! I said, no. I'm teaching the earth how to defend itself. They just get crazy. And then it's always some specific thing. There's straws, plastic straws all over the ocean. We've got to get rid of them. I'm like, no, leave them there. They're trying to evolve. Just give them 1 billion years and they'll grow legs and little snouts and they'll suck up all the dirt and the algae, because that's what evolution is. Just give it enough time and magic happens. I love it when they put me down for believing in God. You believe in an invisible man in the sky. Not me. I believe in logic and reason. We happen to know that rocks turn into people. Notice again, I'm not taking an individual and mocking them. I'm mocking ideas. Why? I'm a Christian, forbidden to hate people, commanded to hate ideas that are different than God's. We don't do it. We wanted a safe, simple Christianity. We don't have that option anymore. Traditions are crucial, son. You didn't grow up with traditions. You grew up with trends. Trends come and go. I don't believe in trends. That's why I have no tattoos. People get upset when they say, what if there's somebody here with a tattoo? They're going to get their feelings hurt. If you don't know what this is, it's called the snowflake dance. Oh, my God. What if there's somebody here with a tattoo? They're going to get their feelings hurt. That's my point. What has happened to America? If you have a tattoo and you get your feelings hurt because I joke about tattoos, you don't deserve a tattoo. Tattoos used to be saved for special people, usually people on leave. And drunk, obviously. See, the young people have all got them, and they've ruined it. Nowadays, people wake up and go get a tattoo. Used to be you woke up and discovered you had a tattoo. Where did this come from? And why am I in a dumpster? So the whole thing is crazy, but they've jumped onto it. You got one, I'll bet you, 18? No? No? Look at him. Mom said no. That's why I had to sneak off to the fair. See if I could get one underground, get a back alley tattoo. Who's this next to you? Your girlfriend. Nice. You got a tat, girl? No? Look at her. Is this your brother? Yeah, you got one? Brother? You got one? Sister? Girlfriend? Nice. Okay, none of you got tats? What is it? Mom? Oh, thank you. The man behind's goes, that's the mom right there. Don't leave her out. She's responsible for all of this right here. Just the three boys, look. I take no credit for the women whatsoever. I would never produce a female. Well, good for you. I'm glad for you. You got 3 boys, is that it? Good for you, that's good. Boys are good, they're strong. They're the next warriors. They're there to protect you, mama. Yeah? She's like, well, anyways, trying to raise you up your masculinity there a little bit. Mama said, nah. But I love the fact that I have no tattoos for one reason. And by the way, if you have one, I don't care at all. I don't care. I'm just joking around about the different reasons why people do it. Listen, if you have I'm not judging you if you have a tattoo. I don't think I'm better than you if you have a tattoo. I don't think I'm superior. I just stopped drawing on myself when I was 4. But never looked at myself. It looks good. You know what it's missing? A parrot. That's what's missing. There they go. Oh, what if there's somebody here with a parrot? Oh, my gosh. That's so obvious. So I don't have one for one reason, because you can't erase it. That's all. I don't want to do something I can't change, because what you like at 18, you're not going to like at 28. What you wear at 28, you're not going to want at 38. It doesn't work like that. What you think looks good now doesn't look good later. You never look at a picture of yourself 10 years ago and say, man, I miss that haircut. You don't do it. Well, that guy does, but just one guy with a little tear going, I just want one hair to cut, that's all I want. I just want back in the game. But things are going to change, son, that's all I'm getting. So I told that to a church. You know, I just don't want it because you can't erase it. Dude gets that mad at me. Hey, dude, I got a tat. And we don't want to erase them because they're our memories. Because I got my kids tattooed on my arm. This guy had kids. And to remember that, had to drill their names into his epidermis. Made his conversations a lot more awkward. You got kids? Yes, yes. Right there proves it. But here's what he said to me. Dude, we don't want to erase them because they're our memories. But here's the thing. If you want to get rid of your tattoo, you can always burn it off with a laser. Sure, it'll leave a scar, but at least the tattoo's gone. This was a win for this guy. He really didn't see the irony. Sure, it'll leave a scar, but the tattoo's gone. Oh, now you got a scar. What are you going to do about that? Let's follow your train of logic. Well, I guess I could cut my arm off. Sure, it'll leave a stump. But at least the scar's gone. Woo! Actually, he'd go, woo! You know, that's how he'd be. There they go. What if there's an armless guy here? He's going to get his feelings hurt. Well, at least he can't hit me. All right, so what? 2 armless jokes, one night. That's how I roll in Minnesota. Well, I think you're being insensitive. I love that. Insensitive. There could be an armless guy. It is Minnesota. There's farmers here, you know. They could have got it caught in a thresher. I don't even know if that's even a word. I don't know. How would I know? You don't see me pretending to be a farmer, do ya? Huh? You a farmer? Huh? What do you do? Construction, that's good. You farm? No, because you're a hippie. Look at that, hand-loomed her clothing out of hemp. She smokes her own clothing. You know that, don't you? This poor girl's like, I went to a comedy club, now I'm in therapy. Is this normal? What kind of church is this? Crazy. Where's the farmer? You a farmer, sir? He's a farmer. Is there a thresher? I made that one up. Anything like that? That's old. It is old? What do they got nowadays? Combine. Combine. All right, that'll work. Combine's the same thing. Combine. See, I wasn't completely off there, Pastor. Said a thresher, and he goes, well, that's old. We don't use those there. Just a combine's all we have. That's all we use now. Okay, well, anyways. I don't know that there's somebody here that could be injured, but here's what I'm trying to say. I get tired of us treating those people that have some disabilities like children. I think it's patronizing. Oh, don't make fun of those. Maybe an adult man who's made it this long without arms wants to be treated like an adult. Maybe instead of looking at them feeling sorry for them so that you can get some virtue signaling points, maybe you should be inspired by the fact that this guy's lived his life, isn't complaining, and isn't looking for a handout. Well, he is, but what are you going to do? Three armless jokes, one church. So treat him with respect. If you have no arms, raise your hand so we can point you out. 3, 4. I hope there's no visitors here tonight because these poor people are going to go, this is the craziest church I ever see. Oh, my goodness, because people don't know, Pastor. They don't know what packages Christians come in. They're not used to this. This is exactly why I'm here. Get used to not being used to how God talks. Get used to flavors you've never tasted before. Get used to packages that make no sense to you. We got a new season in America. Buckle up. Crying out loud. I've had people that don't know me any different. And they get excited because they just go by the terminology, oh, he's a Christian comedian, great. Where's your puppet? You know, and look, if you're in the puppet ministry, you know, quit because you're embarrassing us. That's all I'm getting at. That's all I'm saying. See one guy in the back with a trunk. Let's get out of here. That is not funny at all. He's gone too far this time. Now he's out of control. Mock the kid, that's fine, but not my puppets. How many of you sometimes get a little bit nervous, some of the things I say, want to laugh, but you first look to the pastor to make sure it's okay? Let me tell you something about pastors. Every stinking person they let up on their pulpit, they're responsible for. Because they're responsible for you. So if they do it, they must believe that there's something here that matters, that's helpful, that could be inspiring for you, that could give you something that he doesn't do. He's not good at everything. I'm not good at everything. We all have a piece of the puzzle. Ever think about that? That's why we don't all have the same talents and gifts. So we have to need each other. That's what the marriage is. God says you're not a complete human until you get the woman or the man, then you're one. You literally get the rest of you because God is male, female, clearly, because he said he made them in his image. If you read the Bible, follow it, and actually think it through, you'll realize you're reading the manual for how the world works. We don't often. I'll bet you guys do, though. When I hear people laugh, and I joke about the things I do, and they can be dangerous and tricky because we don't know what we're allowed to say anymore. And then I hear people jumping in and understanding it because you're getting context over the content, and that's the crucial key because that's sophisticated. I know it comes from a pastor. He trained you to say, be mature. You come into my church, we're going to be eating steak, not milk. That's good. We need that. I mean, my goodness. Look at this beautiful church. Clearly used to be a silo. Drained all the corn out and said, heck, let's just meet here. Well, who cares? But tattoos, to me, are just an element of America where people get involved in the trend without really thinking it through. I really don't know why you do it. It's something you can't fix, but it's up to you, man. And people would get weird about it. It's like, dude, it's just a tattoo. Man, it's not like I'm drilling a hole in my ear and putting a big piece of metal about that big around right there in my lobe. Anybody seen this trend? You know what it's called? A gauge. That's it. You know why they call it that? Because it gauges how bad they are at making good decisions. It's this big old giant thing. And they pull it out like that's going to be attractive. Let's just let it dangle there. Let's let the lobe just hang. This is it. This is the new lobe. This is what they got going now. And they're going to have kids. What are they going to tell their kid? Dad, what happened to your ear? Well, when I was your age, yeah, I was an idiot, obviously. Had one guy that was so proud. Hey, man, I got a tattoo from my shoulder all the way down to my wrist. Full sleeve, $5,000. I said, really? Because I got 2 sleeves and socks, $5, Walmart. You say? Might want to shop around. Got to get that deal on Amazon. But there we sit. What about you, young lady? You got a tat? You look like a tat girl. I knew it. What do you got? A couple of different ones? What's your favorite? Your flower. Where is it, Well, maybe I shouldn't ask. Even I'll draw the line somewhere. On your arm, your ankle, on your chest. And as a flower, what does it represent? Your parents? Grave flowers. Is that what you said? Did you say they're grave flowers? Oh, did not want to ruin your night. So your parents' flowers. Oh, nice. And they represent your parents. And they're still with us. Good. That's them? Okay. At the 2 women, one woman's like, we're not that progressive here. We are generally friends. Had we been in Minneapolis. But anyways. Well, anyways, I'm good for you. And I'm glad you have that thing. And listen, I was joking about tattoos. She didn't weep. Didn't need a safe space. Didn't need a trigger warning. Right? Trigger warning. You know what trigger warning is? That's that letting people know that a word's coming that might scare you. So we want to let you know ahead of time so you can prepare your feelings. You know what the number one thing that triggers the left is? Guns. You know what guns have? Triggers. These idiots name their trigger word after the thing that scares them the most. Irony of ironies. Smart people? Nope. Seriously delusional? Yes. Some of them are good people trying the best they can? Yeah. Some of them are just lost their way, picked the wrong side. Yeah, some. Some aren't. Some are gone. Some are lost. Some are literally unteachable. They are lost. God says there will be people that have gone too far. You'll never come back. You're going to hell forever. Well, I don't believe in a God that would throw me into hell. Good. Believe in our Christian God. He doesn't throw anybody into hell. Thank you. He does get out of the way and let you walk in on your own, though. Because that's the beauty of freedom. It's that dangerous. Right? So here we sit in Minnesota. Small little town. And yet, look at the people that showed up. You got this great thriving church, right? Folks are coming from miles away. Yeah. It's amazing. See, Minnesota's unique. Yeah. It is. It's fascinating. Little. I mean, you remember the traditions. You go to church, right? But when you go to church, you're packing. So that to me tells me a whole. Got to make your altar calls a lot more effective, doesn't it? Would you like to accept Jesus as your Savior? I don't know. I would. Yeah, I'd like to do that. Could have done that last week. Wasn't thinking clearly. but you're what we were. You are the heartland. You are the lineage. You are regular people who just want to be free and leave everybody to their own devices. Do the best you can. Live and let live. But we're going to have some standards. We're going to have some traditions that we need to be a cohesive country. No country can survive if there isn't some unity. And what is happening to America is an absolute severing of a unity, some kind of undergirding that we can all agree on so we know who we are. You want to know if your country's great or not? Because people your age are being taught it's not great. They're hating a nation because they have no idea what the other nations are. And once this one's gone, there'll never be another. Nothing's coming to fill in the gap of the United States. There's never been a nation like it's the greatest nation in human history, period. So we got to fight for it because we've been given this territory. Why wouldn't we? Israel fought for its territory. They're our lineage. We were grafted in. They're our people. Or you don't believe this is true. You want to know if a country is great or not? Do people want in or do they want out? And I don't hear about people digging holes sneaking into North Korea. Anybody heard about that one? Anybody picking up on that news flash from MSNBC? No, they went in here because it's a great nation, the greatest nation on earth. I mean, clearly, you wouldn't leave your country for another one unless you were going somewhere better. It's not complicated, son. Minnesota, I was driving up and down your freeways, or what do you call them here? Highways? Okay, I don't want to look at. They're like highways. There's nothing free here, sir. This is there's literally not. They've taxed it all. Up and down your highway. I think I discovered the biggest waste of taxpayer money in Minnesota. It's your incredibly naive but optimistic investment in speed limit signs. Not working! Clearly, there is no limit to the speed in Minnesota. Don't waste the paint. Call it what it is, speed, because that's all I saw. It was just... And I made a mistake, I'll be honest. I'm not a Minnesotan. Made a huge mistake. Without getting permission, accidentally, I merged into the fast lane. Look at the people. Was that you? I did. Had a guy in his big old Minnesota truck on top of me. Ah! Like, what is going on? Ah! He had 2 kids in the back in car seats. Apparently, this was a teaching moment. Kids, look at this idiot. He's going like 70 in a 7-day. We live in a narcissistic nation. A narcissistic nation. Institutionalized narcissism. Living only for yourself. No more neighborliness. No more loving the neighbor. No more. Gone. This guy was angry that I was obeying the law. Same guy that would get mad if he got pulled over for speeding. If the cop was hiding. Where were you behind that bush? Oh, that's not fair. You're supposed to be out in the open so I can slow down before I pass you. And you guys got all these things you got to deal with, man. I'm not used to it. I mean, your highways, you got more you got signs on the highways, and they're never helpful signs. Always warning me about something that's about to go wrong. Weird phenomenon I didn't know still happened in the 21st century. And you're used to it. You've adapted. God bless you. I'm not used to a sign warning me about an animal that might leap out. Ah! First time I saw a deer cross, I'm like, why do you let them on? If you got deer jumping out of the, don't put up a sign, put up a wall, guys. Put them on a leash. Get a stun gun. They invented barbed wire. Use it now and again. You got deer jumping out on the road. You act like that's normal. Yeah, it's normal if you live in a cartoon. What do? Jump out in top hats? Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Ah! Dancing deer in Minnesota. Then you got the cold weather signs written in some cryptic shorthand. Apparently only you people can decipher. Bridge ices before road, okay. What do I do? Where's the rest of the information? You're all past me. I got heat on, snowshoes, a walrus. Help me! The bridge is gonna do something! Look out for deer! My favorite one, watch out for tractors. I'm no farmer, mind you, but don't they have like a designated, I don't know, field they're supposed to be in? Minnesota farmers just run wild periodically. Party! Woo! Hey, Clem, grab your combine. Let's go on the freeway. Woo, slow her down, boy. I think I got this thing up to 3. Let's go race the Amish. Come on, we can take them. That's right, when all those fails, make fun of the Amish. Why? Because they have no electronic recording equipment to prove I said anything. If they had it, they couldn't plug it in anyways. Because they can muster up as a scribe. What did he say? Israel, I do not know Judah. I think he's making fun of our chariot. You want to know you're going slow? Amish guy behind you is going, come on! You gave me a new sign, folks. That's what I love about Minnesota. You're innovative. Drive down the road, saw a sign that said, bump. Just said bump with an arrow showing me where the bump's going to be. Now, I'm no professional when it comes to the best use of county funds for road repair, but I'm thinking, if you got enough money to build a bump sign, got enough money laying around to hire guys to install bump signs, I don't know, maybe you should fix the bump. Take money out of the bump sign slush fund, place it into the bump repair pork barrel legislation they're jamming through. Why? Because it doesn't work. You see, a sign is supposed to warn you about what could happen so you can prepare. That's why we have the term sign of the times. It's telling you what could happen so you can prepare. Bump signs don't work. By the time you see them, you're already there. Here's how they work. Bump, huh? Wait, what? I don't like that. You just throw up a sign. Don't want to be going 90 scene. Giant hole. What? Bunch of Minnesotans in red vests. What's the problem? We put up a sign. At least you missed the bump. Hand me that Amish guy. He's been down there a week and a half. I think he's eating his horse. Because you're different. You got your own vibe, man. I feel sorry for them deer. They're always dead on us. I saw 12 deer crossing signs on the way here, which is weird because I counted 13 dead deer. So obviously the deer are taking these signs literally. And they never work. They never make it. Call them what they are. Deer tried crossing. Deer took a shot. It's always a little baby deer dead or a little mama fawn or whatever. What's the baby? Fawn? What's the girl? Doe? So doe's a deer, a female deer? got me a walleye. Okay. That was easy. You never see a 10-point buck on the side of the road, do you? You know why? Because a 10-point buck learns to send his family out first. Hey, babe, it says deer crossing. Give it a shot. All right, let's go a little bit further down. See what happens. Hey, son, no signs here. I think you're going to... Well, I guess I'm going to stick on this side. Going to need a new family next season. But you're Minnesota. You got your own vibe, your own people. You created this place. You know, the Danish, right? Or Swiss, or whatever you were. Vikings, right? I don't know. Not Baptist. No. Oh, Packers. No Packers. No Packers. No Packers. Yes, sir. Suddenly, now we're getting into theology, aren't we, folks? And thou shalt slay the packer, and he shall be dead. Thou wilt wound him until he dies. So is that your big rivals? Packers? Yeah. Vikings, Packers? Okay. You disagree? Who would be the bigger? You'd be the Packer and the Viking, right? Nobody else would be your big Bears? Bears aren't a problem? What is it? I'm glad you're having a great time back there, but if you want to let the rest of us in on that, that'd be amazing. Oh, okay, nice. Okay, well, it was nice meeting you. I don't know if you noticed the cemetery right next door. But here layeth a Packer fan. Well, good for you, man. I'm glad you're here. I was in Wisconsin in January. Now, I've been in all 50 states. And when I speak of this idea of Wisconsin, I'll always say what I just said. I was in Wisconsin in January, and it always gets this response. Ooh. Except in Minnesota. Which tells me all I need to know about your winters. When I say I was in Wisconsin in January, you're all sitting there going, ooh. I know. Burning up. But I was driving over a bridge, over a lake, and there were 10 tents on the lake. And I'm no outdoorsman, but I'm thinking that has got to be the most disappointing camping trip. You didn't want to choose the woods, or there's nowhere to put up a hammock. I don't understand what you're doing. You know what I found out? They weren't camping. You know what these people were doing? I know. Once again, people all go, we don't know. And then I'm hearing, oh, they're fishing. Yeah, Philly, they were fishing on a frozen lake. How addicted to fishing do you have to be? That you can't wait for the water to get wet. I mean, I'm no fisherman, but I always assumed that God gave us clues to what a good day to fish might be. And I'm thinking, if you're going fishing and you need a pole and a saw, not a good day to fish. If you can make your way out to the middle of the lake without a boat, you're either Jesus or it's not a good day to fish. When you cast your worm out and when it lands, it gets a concussion. Not a good day to fish. But it's Wisconsin. It's January. The lake is frozen. They are hungry and they are out of cheese. And they're serious about cheese. This is real. That's where I first had squeaky cheese. You chew it and it just squeaks, screams in horror. I like food that fights back. I feel sorry for the fish. I mean, they've probably been waiting all summer for this thing to freeze over so they'd have a little rest, a little vacation. Maybe they'll leave us alone now. They got to be the most disrespected of all the proteins. Well, look how we treat them. We will hunt a fish, catch a fish, pull up a fish, cut off the fish's head, scale the fish, cut open the fish, cook the fish, eat the fish, then complain because he tastes fishy. We're eating a fish, but we're mad that he tastes like himself. This doesn't happen to other meats. So nobody goes to a steakhouse going, waiter! Oh, this is really cowy. It's almost like a beefy flavor. Is that normal or? But here's the key. Here's why I'm here. So, A, I am here because I was told by God, I have a mission for you. You are going to be a prophet to the church. Is that the most ridiculous thing you have ever heard in your life? It was to me. It didn't make, this can't be true. Prophets, pastor, mission, it's always somebody else. If there's any cohesive truth that every man that God used intensely in the Bible, that they all had one thing in common. It was this, that they were absolutely convinced they were the wrong man for the job. If you believe in God, you give your life to him. It's not a metaphor. He actually uses terms like you are dead to me. You are crucified to me. You are a slave to me. God, Christian God, historically, gave you the freedom to know him and be in fellowship with him for eternity. He did the most ridiculous thing that has ever been recorded in human history. God died. Have you ever just pondered that? God died. That is unfathomable. You want to know what it is to be loved? Your Creator allows himself to die for you. No other religions ever came up with that. Then again, no other religion had a Trinity. No other religion had a way for that to have been physically or possible, logically. Everything you've ever wanted to know about reality. Well, if God was real, why doesn't he show himself? He did. But because he's transcendent, because you can't see him, because that's what he is, he's a mind, he has to dimensionalize himself. He has to become one of us. Crazy. Crazy. Makes no sense. It's either the most lunatic, ridiculous waste of time, or it's true. God's real. And he showed us. 1,500 years to write the Bible. Never been a book like it. 66 separate letters written over 1,500 years by 40 different people, from kings to prison people. And you put all those pieces together in 1,500 years, and you know what it makes? A complete story. Oh, yeah, that's normal. Oh, it's just another book. Never been anything close. It's a miraculous book because God wrote it. There's nothing like it, guys. And we have documentation. People that saw it. People saw a man die and come back to life. We've got this crazy thing that gives you the freedom to know that even when Corona comes and goes, or that cancer comes and goes, or the government decides to take it all over, and that could very well be where we're at. We could be literally at the last chapter of this book. Can you imagine? Because everybody thought it was them. It might really be us. I've never seen anything like this, where the entire world was captivated by one idea. Never seen anything like it in history. We really might be at the end, and it's us. What a privilege. How scary. Holy crap. It's okay to be in awe, to be in fear. Not fear of dread, fear of awesomeness. I love it when atheists say, oh, if I ever saw God, I'd give him what for? It's like, you ever seen encounters people had with God in the Bible? They were in terror. Oh, okay, can't even look. I'm in the presence of something that invented time, space, energy, material. He's bigger than me. And he asks us to do him a favor. If you're one of mine, I need people to see it in your behavior. You're supposed to be a freak, a stranger in a strange land. You're supposed to be unusual. You're supposed to do things that are not natural, and they're not. Christianity is the weirdest religion. It teaches you things that are counterintuitive to logic. It teaches you, for example, whatever you need, you have to give away. I need friends. Oh, go be a friend. I need sympathy. Go be sympathetic. I need forgiveness. Go forgive. I need love. Go love somebody. I need money. Go give your money away to somebody that needs it more than you. Ridiculous. Or the supernatural. See, we are given information. And God gives us clues as to how to behave in ways that will help you understand his language. You have to get used to it. You got used to praying and hearing. You got to get used to doing things that make you uncomfortable. I'll give you an example. They were once asked, what is true religion? And of course, they're referencing Christianity. What is it? How do we know what it is? He said, well, it's simple. You take care of the widows and the orphans, and you visit the sick in their afflictions. And we go, oh, that's a nice little passage. He was serious. No. You do these things. You don't talk about it. And most of us in the U.S. don't. And wonder why we can't hear from God. He said, I talk to you all the time. You've never learned my language. You don't make it uncomfortable for yourself. You don't want to get out of your safety zone. You don't want to discipline yourself. You don't want to swallow your pride and actually let me run the rest of your life. Folks, those days, I promise you, are over. He's weeding them out. God told me there's too many churchgoers, not enough Christians in America. That's going to change. Going to reduce the amount, but it's going to make a robust body that's ready to do whatever is necessary to redeem this nation, seek a third great awakening, or be willing to die martyrs. And it's sacred, and it's beautiful. I have kids out in the back that I work with, Compassion International, one of the best charities in the world, Christian charity. I actually went to Ecuador and got to see a child that I sponsored. I've been sponsoring kids for over 25 years. Because I got to see the child and I sponsored him, and I saw what they do. They work with the local church, and the kids go there and they get education, they get food, and they get medical attention, they get clothing. Their parents, usually they have no father. The mother's working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, so that she can keep the shack that you guys would have got rid of because they weren't good enough for your tools. Literally live on dirt with babies. And you can sponsor a child. It's $38 a month, which means you'll have to fast a Denny's meal a month. I mean, put it like that. You will fast a Denny's meal a month. Don't worry, when you go home, there'll be food still in your pantry. They have nothing. To whom much is given, much is expected. I'm telling you, as much as I didn't want to, I've been put in a place right now in this time, in this season, to let you know it's time to put aside the childish ways and to become mature Christians. We need to be mature now. You got to defend your pastor at all times against lies and against deceit and against schisms in the church. It's demonic and it has to get out. You have to be that kind of person for that guy. It's the hardest job here. He is stuck with you guys complaining day after day after day after day after day. That's what happens. You know who complains the most? The people that do the least. The ones that don't even tithe. But that doesn't have to be you. You can go out there and sponsor a kid. You can literally do what he just told you. Take care of the widows and orphans. Got one right there. You can do it right now. Don't do this. Let me pray about it. Seriously? The Bible told you to do these things. What's God going to say? No? Got somebody dying over here. I can protect them, and all I got to do is send a check. Don't even have to do anything. I'm just giving you, you can walk out here and still be serving God. You don't have to do it. I'm just saying, I'm giving you a chance to start getting uncomfortable. Start sacrificing, getting used to it until it becomes so normal and so giving, and you're so used to it that it just happens all the time. And watch how God, by the way, blesses you. You think you're going to be left with nothing, but somehow that's going to make you a better Christian. God's going to bless you. You're not going to believe it. He's waiting for you to do the hard thing. I also have DVDs out there. They're an hour long. They're different than what I did. A lot of the material I did today is working on the next album. So a lot of it is stuff that you won't see. So it's like getting a whole new album. And it lifts up God and country, tears down political correctness, because I want to watch political correctness die in my lifetime. But first, I want to watch it suffer. As long as I have a mind, a mouth, and a mouth, I'm going to do my best to do just that. But here's what I wanted to say. And I know DVDs are kind of going out of fashion. People are downloads, and I'm trying to get that set up so that can be done too. But this is rural Minnesota. You haven't caught on yet. So I'm going to take advantage of that as long as I can, get rid of my inventory. So they're out there waiting for you. I sold out of my Constitution one, but I have the other ones, and I'll give you a deal on them. But anyways, you can buy those, and you can laugh, you can share them with friends, you can do the stuff, and it's just like this. Comedy with some moments of inspiration and some deeper ideas. That's what it is. It's all different stuff. Have a great time with those things. But here's the deal. If things are tight with you financially, I don't know where you're at. If they are, don't buy my stuff. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm going to eat. Sponsor a kid. Take care of somebody that has nothing, can't take. Do it today. Finally break out of your lethargy. Finally say enough's enough. I'm going to be a Christian and nobody's going to know what to hit them. They're going to look at me and say, this guy, what has happened to you? Be that guy for this church, for this community, for your village, for your boss, for your workers. Be the church in this final season in America. Leave a legacy. But if you're loaded, sponsor 2 kids, and then buy every stinking thing I have back then. Because my kids wait for me when I come home like I'm in a Dickens novel. Father, did you go to Minnesota? Yes, I did. Did they buy the DVDs? Well, no, they sponsored children. It's all right, I'll eat gruel again, Father. So I must leave you with this. And by the way, I will be here tomorrow in case you guys have, who doesn't go to this church? A bunch. Whoa. Well, listen, tomorrow, come on Sunday, I'm going to be doing a very unique program called the God Experience. We're going to prove some proofs that God is real. Bring your non-believing, skeptical friend and come and see the show. Very unique, very unusual. It's nothing that you have ever seen before, including the fact that I will swallow this. So, you'll never see anything like it. This is what God has called my life to be. It's unorthodox, it's weird, it's out of the box. It's who I am. Come back, bring your friends, do that thing. But I have to leave you with this, son. It's up to you guys. I joked with you. You were a great sport. All of you were fun. But listen, you are the next generation. I don't have a lot of time left. Even if I live a long life, I don't got much left. I have to leave it to you guys to run with it and be warriors, okay? And it starts with, and I'm picking on your age because you're the ones that are enduring the worst case scenario I've ever seen in human history, where logic is now considered racist. So you have to be the ones that are ready to fight. Speak truth. You're going to be hated, you're going to be offended, you're going to lose work, you're going to lose opportunities, and you're going to honor God. And that's the deal. Or you're not one of us. Don't be a coward. Be a man. We need you. That means speak truth. See, when I was your age, we had a thing called the boys' bike and a girls' bike. Then again, when I was your age, we used to have a thing called a boy and a girl. I know. I didn't know that was going to get complicated. I could have swore the science was settled. I thought after 10,000 years I was on the right side of history. But that's what happened. And if you don't know what it is, because everything's gender neutral now, a girl's bike was a normal bike, but it had a big slot out of it so you could slide right in. Boy's bike was exactly the same, except it had an iron bar welded into the frame directly under the seat. And the first time you took that bike out for a ride and your foot slipped off the pedal, you knew you were a boy. Oh my goodness. There was no ambivalence. Nobody understood. Everybody, you landed right, this is a church, on your loins. That's in the Bible. Right on your loins. It was terrible, and it made no sense to me, because I believe in a God that made a perfect design. Everything was perfect, and yet he left men vulnerable with organs of their body, completely vulnerable. Made no sense. Every other organ in a man's body, his heart, his liver, his spleen, protected by his rib cage. What went wrong? Nothing went wrong. The one rib he took to make you was the one protecting my loins. That's what went wrong. And God said, feareth not. What dost thou mean, Lord? I've cursed the womaneth as welleth. Inneth wetteth waith. I haven't noticed that it iteth at alleth. I only speak to the Lord in King James. You know, so he'll understand me. I've altered their hand-eye coordination. And what, they're just like, oh, you mean when they try to throw a ball? No, but that is funny. From henceforth, women cannot apply eye makeup without opening their mouth. Because guys and girls are different. God bless you for coming out on a night like this. God bless you for being in church on Saturday. God bless you for loving this nation. God bless you for standing for truth. God bless you, we're still here. We're still free. Fight like warriors.